Hey, good evening, everyone. Got a contest entry, but not only that, I got a package from Dillon at Noble Records. So this is a twofer. That's right, I'm the channel that gives you twofer. 2 videos for the watching of one. In the background, we have this going on right now, and African Nuggets. And it's really grooving, man. Darn good stuff. So that's what you hear. All right, so Brad, this is for Brad at H20 Vinyl. He had a contest, 200 subs. Congrats, Brad, going over 200. I think you're about 260 now, so it's really gone. A lot of people have done this already, and I know it ends here in just less than a week, and so I told you I was going to get this done, and I am getting it done now. So he had 2 parts. First was to show 5 labels with those, you know, that goes with a record, so that when you see that label, you think of this record. The other part was to tell a story about record experience. And then I'm going to show some records that Dillon gave me from Noble Records. So let's begin with the labels. First off, this is hard to see, but it is, see right there, SST. SST Records. That to me means Ooskadoo. Back in the, when I was living in Minneapolis, obviously I was buying a lot of, you know, trying to keep up with stuff then. And so when Ooskadoo would come out, be on SST. Now I know they did a lot of that label did a lot of punk stuff and things. But to me, when I think SST, I think Ooskadoo. Now the same thing, let's grab it here, talking about the Twin Cities, they had a label there called Twin Tone. And that was, you know, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that was their label. And so when I think of Twin Tone, I think of the Replacements. Now, there was a lot of other really neat, especially punk bands coming out of Minneapolis at that time, and they were on Twin Tone. But I was buying, obviously, the Replacements. So whenever I see the Twin Tone label, I definitely think of the Replacements. That's the first thing that hits my mind. This one's kind of, everyone's seen this one. It's very common, but it's what it means to me. Chrysalis. And when I see that, the very first album that I had with the Chrysalis label was Jethro Tull. And this is Minstrel in the Gallery. It was from Columbia Record Club. I did not send back my selection of the month, and thus I got a Columbia Record Club album. And I became a lifelong Jethro Tull fan. That's what procrastination does. Procrastinate and you learn to like something. That's what happened. Off Chrysalis. Every time I see that label, I think Tull. Next one. Yeah. The Biograph label. So Biograph, when I think of them, I think the blues. And they've gone, and they've done a lot of these blues compilations of some of the older blues guys that, you know, kind of get forgotten about. You know, here we have Larry Johnson, here we have Skip James. I think of it as a historical label because these are historical recordings and they really go back on some people, and they do a great job with it, and I buy a variety of these. But, you know, this is kind of a common cover that you'll see for Biograph. Really enjoy their stuff. We have Arhoolie. Arhoolie, this is with Clifton Chenier. So when I see Arhoolie, I definitely think of Zydeco and Cajun music. You know, they're big down in the Louisiana area, and they make a lot of that kind of stuff. And so when I see that, I really, it's going to be Zydeco. Chances are. And so I know I'm going to love it. And so it's one of those favorite labels of mine. That was 5, but I like this label. It's just fun. You know, there it is. It's on Chrysalis, but it says the Selectors. I just think that that's a super neat label, so I like that. An experience that I had with record collecting. So we're going to go back to the probably around 87, and I was working in Waterloo, Iowa. I was an assistant there, and one of my employees, he was he was going to school. He was an art student, and I love art. And yay, here we go. Cat's back even at night. So me and him, we would talk art, and we actually went out and we visited some art galleries and looked at some stuff. It was a lot of fun. Well, he also liked music, but he was into like Blackfoot, he was into Zeppelin, he was into Black Sabbath, a real metal guy. And I'm talking about, you know, different things. So one day he goes, "Can I come over and look at some of your records?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." So he comes over, and I show him, I play for him Fisherman's Blues by the Waterboys. He'd never heard anything like that. He said, "Wow." I mean, it kind of blew him away. I then played him Jethro Tull. He knew nothing of Jethro Tull. He became a lifelong Tull fan. In fact, we even went to a concert the next year of Jethro Tull. But the big one, I played him Pink Floyd. You know, again, you know, it's mid-'80s. He's a college student. He hadn't heard Pink Floyd. Oh my God, his eyes bugged out. I mean, we did Dark Side of the Moon, and he just went nuts. So we would go to these record shows, and he was just buying anything he could of Pink Floyd. And then, you know, like when you think of Wish You Were Here, well, you know, they talk about Roy Harper's on that one. So he had to go buy Roy Harper stuff because they're related to Pink Floyd. And he just went nuts. Now, here's the problem. He was working as a part-timer for Kmart. He was married, his wife, and he was spending a lot of money. And you know, eventually I moved on to my next assignment, and he wound up getting divorced. And I'm pretty sure he got divorced because he just bought too many freaking records. And so there it is. Thanks to me showing records, tuning people on, I created a happy marriage, and they had I broke up a happy marriage. You know, he went on, he did became an illustrator in books and stuff, and I forgot to bring down one of his drawings, you know, that he sent me. I've lost touch with him. Name's Brian Seeger. Brian Seeger, if you're watching this, by God, I appreciate you. So that's my story. It's like I created a Frankenstein monster. That's what I did, and thanks to me, another marriage busted up. I think my wife would have left me ages ago, huh? All right, that's my entry. So, Brad, thank you for what you do. Thank you for your channel. It's wonderful. Big part of the VC. It's always nice to see the meetups that you and DJ High-New get to do. So, all right, now got this from Noble Records. It's been slid open already. There we go. There is a note. Steve, had these two in my collection for years and haven't listened to them for a very long time. Hopefully you can enjoy them more than I was able to. Hope you are well. P.S. The front and back records are just for protection, but feel free to enjoy these as well. I like anything. I think everyone's kind of figured that one out, except Polka. All right, let's go. So the front one, we know the front ones are going to be something, well, it's going to be a little different, right? All right. Hey, swag, outstanding. Thank you very much, Dillon. All right, the first one, I will say DNA party tested. I absolutely have zero idea. I am going to say 80s, 1983. They look very new wavy. I think this will be a very fascinating listen. I look forward to this. DNA. I don't, how many of you have it? Leave me a comment if you know DNA. I will know DNA. Next one. All right. Oh my God, look at that, it's on brown. Reckless Eric. I talked in my video about I don't know any Reckless Eric, and I've wanted to get Reckless Eric, and I never, ever, ever find him. And and this is a 10-inch. It has, you know, 8 different songs on here. This is really incredible. Dang. This guy. I don't even have him on a full CD. I just have him on compilation. So this thing is going to be incredible to listen to because this is a guy I want to get into. I really do. Thank you. Boy, you listened well on that one. Next one. Wow. This goes back. The Crazy Elephants. Okay? The very first full record album I bought with my money was a compilation. Dillon, you saw this. And on that, there was one song. It was by the Crazy Elephants. And it was Gimme, Gimme Good Lovin'. Gimme, gimme good lovin' every night. It was my favorite song. And I have looked and looked and looked and have never, ever seen this. That song meant so much to me. I sang it. It was an earworm song, shall we say. Best song on that album had Jimi Hendrix. It had Janis Joplin. It had the Byrds. It had all the heavy hitters. I didn't really know who they were. I just knew the Crazy Elephants did Gimme, Gimme Good Lovin'. And it was just such a catchy song. This is incredible because I've never seen it. And I have looked constantly for the Crazy Elephants. Can't thank you enough, man. I just cannot thank you enough. That is awesomely cool. Wow. Bottom one. So we know this is going to be more of an interesting one. Hey, this is all right, man. You did well. Joe Walsh. I do not own this Joe Walsh album, and I have a lot of Joe Walsh. I like Joe Walsh. I enjoy his stuff. You bought it, you name it. That's pretty damn fine. This guy kills me. He cracks me up. Look at that. Fantastic. Ah, damn it. I used fantastic. I promise not to use that much. Stupendous. Stupendous. I don't have this. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you so much. Wow. You hit it. You hit it. Crazy Elephants, Reckless Eric. Right on. Right on the button. Appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. Outstanding. So there's that. H20 Vinyl. Brad, great job. Keep it going. Really enjoy it. Play the techno. Play the techno. All right? Everyone, there you go. 13 minutes. I did it. It's a short video. You're welcome. Have a great week.